Welcome back, fam. Welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited today. Today we are going to build my budget DJI 03 build. This build, I know it's gonna be a full build. I know I already put out a montage video on it, but it's gonna be a complete build breakdown. So the DJI 03 is very expensive, so we want to save what we can without compromising too much on quality. So what we gonna do with this build, we're gonna build it like I usually do. By no means it's no end all be all. There's probably better ways to do certain things. It might be worse ways to do certain things. This is how I do it. This is how I usually use my builds, and my builds work. I can turn them all back most of the time. They're not falling apart on the littlest crash, and that's pretty much what you want with this kind of build. Especially with the 03, you don't want to have stuff that's a pretty expensive unit. You don't want it falling out of the air. You don't want to losing it, none of that stuff like that. Without further ado, let's get into the build. It's gonna be a long video, so we're gonna get right into it. These are the components we're gonna use. Alright, starting off, we got our frame. This is a saving point of the build. This is the TBS Source 1 V3 frame. The V3 is important. You need the V3, the version 3, because they're up to the version of 5 now, and certain places sell the V3 still, thank goodness, because I always liked this over the newer ones. This right here, out of the gate, it houses your 03 air camera. So if you're trying to build with the 03, you're not getting the V5, you need to get the V3. Another saving point is our SPEEDYBEE F405 stack. F405, this is an F4, they got plenty of URs, man. This thing is it's awesome. It's awesome. We got Bluetooth. This is a good all-around quality stack. It's great value for this build right here. Another saving point, we got the Eco Emax 2 motors. Eco Emax 2. The Eco 2s just always been dope. I mean, I used to fly Brother Hobbies and Steel Stouts. Man, these Eco 2s do just what you need them to do. This is a really good motor. I usually use the 1900 kV on 6S. This is 1700 kV just because I already had them. But 1900 kV is right there in that good sweet spot. You can always use the motor output limit is what I use, because we're not carrying a GoPro, so we have an extra light setup on top of that, on top of the extra power. But I use a motor output limit. If you want to put a GoPro on, or you fly in the wind or anything like that, you can always add more power. Of course, you know, DJI 03. This is the money. This is all the money. This is why we trying to save on this build, because this thing costs 240 bucks. Build we using TBS Crossfire. No said on that. Crossfire is Crossfire for the receiver. I'm sorry, I'm trying to not make the habit of, if you brand new, this is our receiver. We use a Crossfire for our receiver unit. You got a Free Sky, stuff like that, Express RS, that's a whole nother thing. So now we're going to get into our accessories. We got this GPS. This is a Gep RC GPS. I'm trying this one. This was a little bit more expensive. I usually get as cheapest racing quads when they have, but it haven't been locking satellites good. The first time we use this, so I don't swear by this or nothing like that. This is the first. We gonna learn together with this here. Optional anyway. Most of these accessories optionals. I'm gonna show you what 3D prints right here. I'm gonna show that's not optional. For one, we using these little things from Get Up for Brain 3D. These the delamination of a motor. So these go over. These assholes sent me the wrong ones. Alright guys, these are 3D printed accessories I got. I actually got the wrong size, so they kind of threw me off on the video. I had to insert this clip in, but I got the arm mount and I got a GPS holder mount. This is the only accessory right here where I would say it's not optional for us, the 3D prints. This is the 03 standoff mount, and this right here holds your 03 in a decent place. It's still pretty durable for me. And this right here is right here, this 8-pin JST 401 ESC to flight controller cable. This is the one that SPEEDYBEE give you in the stack, which is one of the only downsides about this stack, I think, man, for us just to be able to take out the box. It's gonna be hella frustrating for you to build this and using this. The best way is just to get a longer flight controller, the ESC cable. Yeah, we finna get on with the build. Okay, so this frame is pretty much straightforward as putting it together. You got this bottom plate, and you got this wave bottom plate. I don't know what you call it, whatever you call it. You use the next to the longest screws that go through the arms. See how I put this together? I don't have screws in my stack arms. I just have screws in the outer arms right here, and going through the arms to the way to the way top here. The one important thing you need to know for this build right here, and it's pretty much it, that you need for your 30x30 stacks. You stop right here. Don't use no screws from the Source One kit. You want to go look at your SPEEDYBEE kit, and right here you got these long stack screws right here. This is what you're gonna use. You're gonna put them through your 30x30 stack holes that goes to your arms also. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and finish putting this frame together, and then I'm gonna come back. Alright, thanks to my daughter, we have a completed workstation. Now the next thing we're gonna start doing, we're gonna get our motors. We're gonna start from the outside in and start putting our motors on the quad. Okay, we just going from the outside in. We put our motors on. One thing I do love about the Eco Emax motors is Emax Eco Tools comes with a lot of accessories. They make sure you have different screw sizes for the arms, which is fantastic. That is a very important part to pay attention to when you put your screw through your arms to your motors. You don't want the screw too long where it hit the winding in the motor, and you don't want it too short where it basically don't grip everything real good. Another thing that I'm gonna do with these right here before I get ready to put on electronics is I got this right here. I usually heat shrink my motor wires down. Okay, now that we have this all built up with our motors on our frame, and you got something that's like this, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this to the side. Now we're gonna get our electronics right here. Well, that's got a little bling right there. Oh yeah, we got the gold, the gold. Well, that's dope right now. Anyways, we gotta prep our ESC. Okay, right here we finna go ahead and tend this ESC. So what you want to do, you want to get in there and you want to heat the pad itself, and you want to let the solder cook on the gold itself, the pad. So you heat up the pad, and then you touch the solder to the pad, and it'll stick. It'll do the work for you. That's the technique. That's the best technique to use. And right now, what I'm doing right now, I'm just putting it on there. I'm just putting solder on there, and I'm gonna go back over it. You see how you still see the gold parts and stuff like that? I'm just putting the solder on there. Like I said from the beginning of the video, we not know all end all be all on this. This is just how I do it. This is my technique on how I use it. How I solder, which probably a lot of people use this technique. This is trial and error. I learned. I'm pretty sure back in the day I watched some videos on it, but I've been doing it a little bit by now. And you see how you see the smoke. You want to get in and out of there. You don't want to spend too long, because Right now I'm not using flux, and that smoke right there, that's the flux burning. And when you stop seeing smoke coming off of it, that means you cook all your flux up out of there. So you wanna get in and out of there. You wanna get going. The best thing to do is actually use flux. Right here, see, I'm going back and flattening out. I'm moving it around, you know, getting in there and getting out of it real fast and moving it so it's laying on the pad more better. Yeah. And it's a good thing about this SPEEDYBEE ESC. They got it dummy proof. I don't like to say that, people get offended if they sensitive, but it is separated, so you can't bridge the wires. They make it so easy. A lot of ESCs don't have it like that, you know. It's more easier to bridge the wires. And on here is completely individual. I think that's such a smart design. I think all ESCs, a lot of ESCs should just make it like that. The pad's actually a little smaller than some ESCs that I use, like the Kakute Teco 32. They have larger pads, but I think I'd rather have the pads separated if I was a little insecure about my soldering than to have bigger solder pads. Right here we finna 10 the XT60. You see the little dots right there? You can put your capacitor through those little holes. I don't do that. I did it one time and I said never again. It just was a major fail point for me, and I think that wasn't a good spot for it. I always relocate my capacitor if I use one. I went the longest really without using a capacitor on 6S even. I just never used to use one. I had no problems. I think it helps more maybe like with turtle molding and like the spikes, you know. You can get away without using one, but I think you get a lot more life out of your ESC if you use the capacitor. Yeah, you see those solder balls? Those are real easy to get. As long as they on your, you know, workstation, whatever, they don't get on none of your electronics, you'll be cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know y'all like my background. You see my background there with my crayon on my workstation and stuff like that. My daughter hooked me up with that. You know, if y'all want something like this, let me know. My daughter will scribble all over your workstation for the low. Just let me know. Alright, let's move on to do our other electronics. Okay, right here we finna prep our capacitor. So important thing to know, this end with this logo crap is negative, and the other end is positive. And the negative got the shorter leg, I think. Well, of course, this one got the shorter leg, so that would be negative, I'm pretty sure. So you're gonna cut off these legs and stuff. Hopefully, they don't go nowhere. Okay, you see I'm getting a little solder on the legs right there. And I'm tinning the wire that I'm going to use. You see right there, all I do is touch it until that solder on the leg and the solder that's in the wire melts. I'm basically defining soldering, but just to have it to stick and then to dry. See, well, you'll see it loosen and then it dries. I moved that one too fast before it got a chance to harden. cameraman failing at this point. Yeah, right there. I can see where it got in there, and then it dried. Basically, if you got it good, you should be able to move the leads with the wire. You should be able to pull them, and that's that way you know you got a good joint there. Alright, so what we got here, we got this part right here where the wires are stuck to here. Now see how ugly this looks? What we finna do, we finna work some wonders with this heat shrink right here. So what I do, I put 2 small ends, probably even smaller than this, but it doesn't really matter. I cut 2 small ends, heat shrink piece right there. Take it some of this fire here. And throw that down over there, right? And then what we do, we take one of this size right here, we'll size it up a little bit. Go, that's too much. We just cover it. What we cover? And we'll basically cover the whole thing. So, I guess. Okay, so like the exact size of this. It's probably actually too long. But see what that's gonna do? That's gonna go around that whole thing right now. So we'll push this down some more. Get that out. And see now we got something that looks kind of clean right now. All right. Actually, hold on. So what I did, I made a little small mistake. With my capacitor, what I usually do, I usually put my capacitor underneath the ESC. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slide it up under, and wrap it up, and it'll be fine. It's straightforward, the ESC flight controller motors, but where it comes to be more particular is the little things, like where to put the cap, where you mount your antennas, the gummies between the flight controller and the ESC, how hard do you strap it down tight, that's them little things that you will get your little techniques over a couple bills. the first bill, you probably gonna try to just have the darn thing to work, and pray it don't blow up when you plug it in. Our capacitor is set. Now we want to go ahead and put our DJI 03 in. Once we have it like this, once we have it motors in, wired up like this here, to this point, before we do anything else, we want to go ahead and put our 03 air unit in. Because you don't have no standoffs, it's easy to put exactly where you want it. But if you don't run these back standoffs, make sure you get it out of the room with those. But also, you want to have the room to be able to mount it exactly how you want it, and you want to put the way I do it. I run the camera cable along on top of the ESC, in between the ESC and the flight controller. You can run it under. You can run it under the ESC or on top of the ESC. I'm gonna show you in just a second how that varies. Alright, like I said before, this is our front of our quad with the three ridges right here. This is the back of the quad. We want to put this cable along this right here. How I do it, this is the 03. How I do it, I mount the 03 air unit actually upside down. This is pretty sure right here it'll say DJI, so I'm guessing this is the top right here. This is the part I mount to the bottom, and if you do it like that, 2 reasons I like it like that. I like the if you mount it upside down, you have your Type C at the top. It's just easier to get to in my opinion, being at the top of versus on the bottom. You can see right here that right here it'll go over the top of the ESC. You don't want to put stress on this cable right here. You do not want to put stress on this whatsoever. You want to keep this as less of a fail point as possible. If you put it like this, then you would have to put stress on this cable and push it up. This seemed to lay perfectly over that if you mount it upside down. So that's why I do that like that. You don't have no option to turn this. This is why this was so important right here, because when you have that flight controller in there, it's not gonna this wire going to this wire going to this right here can only be so far. This can only reach so far. So like the flight controller have to be mounted to the back, and then you want your ESC going to this side. But with the ESC going to this side, the flight controller would have to be going the same way if you use the small little ESC thing, you know, because it's so short. You feel me? It's just a headache. The easiest thing to do is get a longer flight controller, the ESC cable, and change the orientation of your ESC to the side. I'm using alien tape to mount the. You can use some kind of double-sided tape, but I'm using this alien tape right here. A lot of people swearing by this. I'm just starting to use it, so it's supposed to do better with the 03 and the DJI stuff. With DJI stuff, of course, it get very, very, very hot. So with usual double-sided mounting tapes, when it get hot, they just basically don't do nothing. They start to slide. It loosens up when it get hot. Watch out for your back standoffs, definitely. And your if you're gonna use these middle to back standoffs right here, you want to watch out for those also. Right here, we finna tend this flight controller. The SPEEDYBEE F405 diagram that has literally everything. Receiver, GPS, it has everything. So, I mean, usually we have to look up a crossfire diagram. It has all the ones that you need. You want to put your receiver on R2 crossfire, express RS. I'm not sure about FreeSky and stuff. I never used FreeSky for a big quad. I do no things on it. But receiver goes on R2 T2, and then it's a 4v5 that we're gonna use for our power, which is freaking amazing. It lets you, the 4v5 lets you power off of the USB, which is dope, especially for a receiver. We actually gonna power both of the things that we're using off of 4v5, which is the receiver and the GPS. Yep, so we got ground 4v5 R2 T2. Straight like that. And the yellow on crossfire is RX. So that's TX. So the one at the very end is RX on crossfire. We put TX on here. Of course, you don't want nothing bridge or touching. That's the main key to this. You don't want nothing bridge or touching, and you want your stuff you want to have a nice solid joint. I'm gonna redo the TX, the yellow one right here. I could tell there was something going on with that. We're gonna take some of this solder off. There's something wrong with this joint. Either we don't have enough solder on I think it's the wire that don't have no solder on it. You can tell if you don't get that bubble. It'll still go on, but it won't be soldered that good. And it's a possibility it'll come off eventually. And you don't want that, especially for a receiver. That's one point you don't want it coming unhooked. Is your receiver. While you don't have to be a perfect solderer, it is really good to solder effectively to the point that you know nothing is gonna come loose. Because if you don't solder effectively, you overall won't be able to trust your build. You want to be able to trust your build. Like, I want to be able to do something sketchy, like fly over water or dive a building, you know. And like, if you have the skill to go on a mission, you know what the reason why you can't do the mission, because your equipment failed. So yep, that's the one thing to take into consideration. So that's one of two things that we have to solder for a flight controller. The flight controller is almost done. So let's pretend our ground, our 4v5, and our T6 and R6. It's at the bottom, so you should have, yeah, it's all on this bottom row to the left right here. But my cameraman have went to sleep, so this is my daughter. So I'm trying to get the best shot I can right here. But it's at the bottom. It's bottom row. It just make it so good right here. It's all in one little spot. All in one spot. We'll turn it to the side and get it a little bit better. Yep. Alright, so when we have these little wires like this to keep setting our iron, picking our iron up and putting it down and stuff like that, to tear these little wires, what I do, I usually set my iron down and set it down like this and pretend it like this. It's on the tip of it. It go away quicker like this. We just solder down here with it. And we do it like that right there. Okay. So we got ground. We gonna turn this down a little bit. We got our iron a little bit too high. I didn't even notice it's at 450. So there we go. We got all our soldering done right there. Just all our soldering done. We got our receiver. We got our GPS wired up. Now we finna basically button the quad up and go program it. Not button it up. I just said not to do that completely. Put the flight controller and stuff in place. Plug it in and program it. Okay, I'm trying to be as thorough as I can without having this video 2 weeks long and stuff. Just in case if somebody is building a first quad or something like that, new quad. This is the back of the ESC. You want the ESC to the side, but you want your flight controller with the arrow facing up to the front, because that's the best way to do it with DJI stuff. Okay. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to do this off camera because it's going to be a little bit movement. Not sure I can get it in frame But I'm finna go ahead and put our standoffs on, at least the front one, so we can hold this camera in place and it won't be flapping around. Okay, right here, while you're not actually using a frame camera mount, I love the way it looked in the build, but you still be able to put it in here. It's a little finicky to put, but it does fit. So what you have to do, you have to put the camera mount in first, slide, pull it to the side, and slide the standoff camera mount on, and then push it over the top. It's a real tight fit. Also, on another note, a lot of people been having vibration issues. I don't know if this dampened it any, but it seems to do good with the O3 if you want to use the rock studded EIS feature. Okay guys, real quick, these two screws right here, the black one is the stock one that comes in the DJI O3. This silver screw is a little bit longer and it works a lot better within the mount from Brain 3D. And this silver screw can be found in your bag, I think, with the motor nut. Is the screw for, I think it goes on the bottom of your motor to hold the bell on, but you know, I never really replaced the bell, you know, I just replaced the whole motor. So yeah, I use these for the DJI O3 camera. Alright guys, I'm gonna show you this. This is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm taking this heat shrink. It's not the smallest one I would like to use, but it's big enough to fit over this gap right here. But I basically go heat shrink crazy with the wires on in the build, because it does a couple things. One, it makes for a neater look inside versus loose wires, and then two, I think it actually keep wires from fail points, wire get caught on a branch in there or something, anything like that. It make it more like consumer based instead of looking DIY-ish, if you want to put it like that way. At this point, we finna get ready to plug in. You want to make sure if you got the O3, it comes with the antenna installed. If you put the aftermarket antenna and you take this one off, be sure to put your antenna on before you fire up a transmitter. That's pretty important. And two, I believe the Crossfire receiver do some kind of telemetry receiving and transmitting or something. So I just always put an antenna on it before I fire that up as well. Okay, so here we finna get ready to plug in. It's what we call the moment of truth. You really should use a smoke stopper. I don't have one, and I never had one. From my very first build, I remember waiting, pacing the floor 10 minutes, and waiting again before I plugged it in, because I was so nervous to plug it in. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and plug it in and see. You don't want to see no smoke, nothing like that. I would probably recommend plugging in a lower voltage if you have it. But here we go. We got one more last check. We got a video transmitter. We're gonna look over it right quick. Everything looks to be okay. Here we go. And that's the whole beat. It's all good. Now we finna hook it up to a computer and do all that fancy smancy stuff. Alright fam, so we got Betaflight pulled up right here. Which one is this? This is Betaflight 10.9. So anyway, we're finna plug in our quad. And boom, we gonna get this thing about that accelerometer. We'll just click off of that for now. So what we gotta do first, we're going to confirm. Okay, we are on firmware 4.3.2. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and update this, and we're gonna push it up to 4.4. We're gonna update the firmware. So Let me move this little thing out of the way. You in the way, little record thing, you bomber. Get out of the way. Jeez, why is that right there? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's a firmware under that where it's blocking. We go right here to here. Release. We'll choose a board. We can auto detect right there, and it'll bring up our SPEEDYBee 405 V3. We gonna go full chip erase. That's the only one we got right there. Leave everything else as is. Yeah, that's it. We gonna go ahead and go load firmware. So we got the load of firmware. That should go pretty quick, depending on your internet and stuff like that. Let's just check the target one more time. SPEEDYBee F405 V3, and we'll go ahead and push flash firmware. It should say erasing. Just clearing everything. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. This is very important. You want to use a good USB cable. I'm so glad they switched to Type-C. They used to use micro USB, but you want to use a good Type-C cable. Not all charging cables transfer data. You want to transfer data, else you would seriously, it won't even work. I have been to the point where, especially with micro USB, when they used to use that, I done used cable after cable, and I had to go through like 3 or 4 cables to find out that it was the cable that didn't work. So we got programming successful, and now we got 4.4.1. Oh, I didn't even confirm this, but yeah, this is 4.4.1. That's what we flashed to. Okay, so now this is a very important part. What we finna do right now. Now what we finna do? We finna try to connect, and it's gonna access right here. Notice there are custom. Always put apply custom defaults. Do not get off this. Push apply custom defaults. You gotta do that. If you don't, you miss. It won't read the gyro or something like that. It's important that you push apply custom defaults. So from there, we're gonna go to our motors tab. We'll pick D-Shot 300 right there and save and remove. Okie dokie. Now we're gonna close out of this. We need to completely close Betaflight configurator, because what we're finna do, we're finna flash the ESCs to BlueJay. If you don't want Betaflight configurator open. Okay guys, we are back, and right here we want to go to this website, ESA-configurator.com. I'm using Chrome. I was told to use Chrome. I use Chrome anyways. Oh man, this is gonna be a problem with this one. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to move this little recording thing. It's screwing me right now. Sheesh. Let's see if we can push beyond this recording thing. It's blocking like where I need to get to. So anyways, I'm gonna plug in my pack. And you want to make sure Betaflight configurator is powered down. Plug in USB. Alright. Oh, okay, I can get to it now. For whatever reason, it will let me get to it. So we'll push connect. And now it read our motors right here. Okay, my daughter thought I was calling her, but so she came running in here. So it shows our motors right here, and what we're gonna do, we'll put read setup, read settings. So it reads all our settings right here. Cool, cool, cool. And right now we got the BL Heli S. This is the program that comes on it. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna flash Blue Jay. Flash all ESCs at the bottom. We're gonna go right here where it say Blue Jay. It's gonna say JH50 right there. Select version. We want to pick, okay, 18. Whoa, they're at 19 now. Okay, so we're gonna pick 19.2. We was all my other quads got 18 on there. We'll pick 19 because that's the newest, and we'll pick the frequency 24. Okay, and we just gonna push flash. Now it's gonna work through all our ESCs, flashes, and good old Blue Jay to it. So basically, Blue Jay is another firmware to give us some features that negates the downside of using a BL Heli S ESC. That's why this F405 stack is so cheap. I'm guessing it's a BL Heli S is a cheaper ESC, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I ain't sure, but $70. That's back in the day, even before everything went up. I was paying more for the Kakute stack, so $70 is crazy good. I had that quad that I had actually lost. This real quick story. The quad I lost in the tree. I found the one I fail safe on Express RS. I found it in the tree. It was real high up. I was trying to work it down. And I have got quad stuck in trees before. And you do like 1 or 2 good motor spins and the tree blocks it, that ESC catch fire. Man, I worked that quad for like, I say about 10-15 minutes, and it just kept working. So that's a testament to the SPEEDYBEE ESCs. They pretty good. Okay, so we are all flashed to Blue Jay. Here we go, Blue Jay, Blue Jay, Blue Jay. We are all flashed to Blue Jay, and we want to check our settings. Let me check my little screenshot I got here and see if everything is what it's supposed to be. Okay, so we got 1025, yeah, that's right, 1100, 140C, 22.5, low 9X, 4080, 10 minutes, check mark, no check mark, 255 ESC power rating. Is this new? I don't remember seeing it. I got that in my little cheat sheet right here. We gonna keep that where it is. Now what we gonna do while we in here, this is very much optional. While we in here, we gonna go ahead and open our medley and we gonna flash one of these medleys here. Let's see what we got here. We got Hit 'em Up. I got Hit 'em Up on my other quad. Yeah, we already got Hit 'em Up. I think I want to go with the, where is it? Oh yeah, Simpsons theme. We don't do the Simpsons theme. Alright, bet that up. So we'll push accept. Write melodies. Alright, that should be it. So we got our, so that way you can flash your custom melody to there. And that's it. That's it. We are flashed with Blue Jay and we got a custom melody. So we're going to push disconnect. I hope y'all can hear that and restart it, and we have our custom melody on it. We finna set up the quad now. Now we plug it in. Now what I can actually do, what I will regularly do is go into my presets and just load my quad, my info for my other quads, and I'm going to do that. But I want to show a couple things that you want to check, just to make sure important things to work through. Joshua Bartwell got videos on all this stuff, and he definitely probably gonna explain better than I'm gonna explain, but I'm gonna show you anyways, in case you just already have in this video and want to see everything in this video. One, you want to check your ports. We put our receiver on UART2. It's auto on UART2. It should automatically be checked in right here. You want to make sure your for your DJI setup, that should be, you turn this on UART1 right here, and you got UART4 checked. This is for your Bluetooth, so you can use the SPEEDYBEE app and you can work stuff through Bluetooth. UART6, we want to go down here and put GPS, and I gotta look at the settings. I'm pretty sure it's 9600 right here. And that's it. The receiver. Oh yeah. Over here on Betaflight 4.4, you want to come over here in UART1 under wherever your air unit put at on what UART is. The SPEEDYBEE, it would be UART1 where it plugs in at. You want to go down here and put VTS MSP Plus DisplayPort right here. You want to pick this one, and that's what you have picked there. So we want to make sure that stuff like that, and we'll push save and reboot. Alright, so we'll go back in configuration. You can put your pilot name, your craft name in here. You can put air mode. I put air mode on a switch, especially with the O3, because if you disarm, you can't perch and stuff like that. So in order to keep recording, you have to just turn air mode off to just land on something. We have GPS enabled. They got some settings for this new GPS I'm using. I'm gonna look through those. I'm gonna come back to that. But what we finna get into now is the motors. So we finna check out our motors right here. So they made it so much easier. New pilots got it so good, man. Back in the G, grandpa shit, back in the G, you had to put in the CLI commands to change the ESC around the motor mapping. It was just a whole headache to remap the motors. Right now, so what we do, we can do reorder motors right here. Understand the risk. Okay, so we gonna put start. And basically, you will see the motor starting to turn, and that's motor over here. Another one turn, push this one. Man, they make this like dummy proof. This is so easy right here. When I see this, I was like, wow, that is crazy. You push save, and we are done mapping our motors. That's so easy. They make that so, I mean, they should have been did that actually. I mean, they should have been did that. That is so much easier. You had to use two different programs to do this right here. Motor directions. You have to use what they call that program? I forget the program name, but you have to use a different program to change your motor direction if you wire your motors going different ways. So what we doing right here? Oh, let me get out of this real quick. Close this. Right here, motor direction is reversed. We gonna click that because we gonna use reverse going outside, props out configuration. So we gonna save and reboot that right there. Okay. So we'll go back in. Motors, motor direction. So now I understand the wrist. I'm gonna pick individually, and I'm gonna just spin up the motors one at a time and make sure they go in the right direction. So one is going the right way, it's going in. Two is going the right way. Three is wrong, it's going counterclockwise. It need to be going clockwise. So three, we're gonna pick reverse. Three is going the right way. And four is going the wrong way. We're gonna pick reverse on four. Man, they make it super simple. It's super simple. I mean super simple. I love that. That's awesome. And we done with that. Alright, what we finna do from here, we finna go ahead and load our preset, because we got a lot of stuff that's already done in our preset. If y'all want, I could put a preset on here for y'all to just load up mine. And we gonna pick our latest one. Which one is it? This one. Open. Save it. Alright, so like once you do this set us up one time, you don't have to keep setting up. See, you can see I got street in there. You know, it got all my presets. See, air mode is now off. And under my modes, it got all of my stuff set up already. Then this is how you set up a quad. You don't have to keep setting it up over and over. Alright guys, this is the last thing we're going to do on the computer. This is the most controversial part that I really don't like that you have to do, but you have to register your air unit. In order for it to work properly, you have to register. You can use a dummy account or something, but I guess when it comes to warranty or anything like that, you have to verify that it's yours or something like that. So another big point I meant to mention, in between each step, you setting up your motors, you flashing ESCs. Let the air unit cool down between those steps. Right here, we gotta activate and confirm my account, and that's it. Activation, because I already have my stuff set up. Update. So right here, we're gonna go to the latest version. They have let me check the release note, see what this is about. Is this the one I have on my other one? Or? Added 4K at 30 frames a second, which nobody can use. That is nuts. I wish that you could record 4K or 2.7K at 30 while you fly in 2.7K 120. That would be amazing, but it doesn't let you do that. Yeah, I think this is the one I already have, but yeah, we're finna go ahead and upgrade. Yeah, don't get scared at that part. At the end of the updating, when it's flashing the firmware, it'll sound like it disconnected or whatever. I think that's the air unit cutting back on. But you good, you know. It scared me the first couple times. I thought it had disconnected, but you good. We are good. And that is the last thing. That's pretty much it for the computer side of things. Now we're gonna button up, complete the quad. We're gonna put our top plate on. I'm talking. Alright guys, we are about ready to mate it. Man, this came out pretty nice. I'm enjoying how it came out. All except for these motor mesh wire thing. These things just a mess. I wanted to kind of make it real bright with the orange. That's what I got going on this orange thing, because it's supposed to be like a mid to long range kind of rig setup. So I wanted it to be nice and bright, you know, in case it go down, I'll be able to spot it out. So that's, you know, why I went with that color. The green props kill the color really, man. But these my favorite props. It is what it is. So yeah, man. I'm excited to make this. When I went in this build, it was just another build. I was excited about having a backup because I needed another quad, but it was just another quad. But what I'm really excited about is this GPS, man. When I first plugged in the GPS, the cold start was crazy. It started locking satellites like I don't know what. So I'm excited to see how this work out. I really haven't been using the GPS that I have. It reads, it do what it want to do. The speed thermometer, like novelty, it doesn't work. It reads satellites when it feel like it just takes forever. This is supposed to be I can tell this is a way better quality one, and I'm excited to see how it turn out. Man, y'all going through this build, man, hit me up. I'm a small channel. We can email back and forth, jump on the phone, whatever we need to do. We all fam, we out here. So, man, I want to appreciate y'all. Y'all vibe with me this long. Appreciate y'all. Much love, respect. We out.